Dear friends, today we're going to talk about how every Jew is like a set of engraved tablets. As we know, this week's portion, B'chukosai, talks about how the Jewish people have to keep the Torah mitzvot, but the Torah chooses the word B'chukosai, statutes, to talk about the learning of Torah. And it is explained that B'chukosai comes from a word engraved as well. And the reason this word is used to tell us that it's not only our duty to do the Torah, but the messages of God, God's mission for us in the world, His Torah itself should really become engraved in our hearts and our souls and our minds. And this is the way a Jew should live Judaism. And I heard a story. In 1945, when the previous Rebbe came to the United States, escaping the Holocaust, and he had set up with a small community of followers, and he started to send them around to spread Judaism and bring the warmth of Judaism to Jews who have strayed. And he told Rabbi Shmuel Levitin, one of his emissaries, when you go to Chicago, I want you to call on a specific fellow whose family, father, grandfather were great Hasidic people back in the old country, and give him warm regards from myself, the Rebbe. And Rabbi Levitin goes to Chicago and he finds out where this wealthy, successful person lives, unfortunately not very religious. And he gets an invitation to his office and he sits down with him for a meeting. And immediately the guy takes out his checkbook. He says, "So how much will this cost me?" So Rabbi Levitin said, "Nothing. I did not come here for a check." So the fellow was surprised. He says, "So why did you come here?" So he said, "I'll tell you. In the old country, there were many little shtetl, little towns. And in each town, there is a synagogue. In each synagogue, there's at least one Torah. And we know that a Torah is ink written on parchment, and sometimes it could fade and become improper to use. And you need a scribe to check it periodically to be able to bring it back to good standing. In the larger communities, it was easy to find a scribe. But in the smaller communities, you had to have a scribe who would travel from community to community, check the Torah, make sure it was kosher." And he said, the truth is, every Jew is like a Torah. And I am similar to a scribe, that I go check on Jews throughout America and try to fill the letters with a little more ink, fill their lives with a little warmth of Judaism. Though it may have erased a little, we can always bring it back to life. And that's my job, to come and bring you some warmth, memories, the beauty of Jewish life, to bring some of that back into your life. And the man was very, very impressed. And Rabbi Levitin goes back to New York, excited with his great parable and story, and he wants to share it with the previous Rebbe. And as he shares this story, expecting the previous Rebbe to congratulate him for coming up with such an ingenious way of communicating, he says, the previous Rebbe looked at him and says, "No, it's not correct." He said, a Torah is ink on parchment. The ink can sometimes fade away and the Torah becomes improper. But a Jew is like the two tablets, where the word of God is engraved in the stone. Nothing can ever erase it. Maybe it needs a little dusting as the engraving part gets filled with dirt, but it's always there. And so it is with every Jew. God is engraved within every one of us. Our faith, our belief in God, our feeling for God is deep within inside of us. Sometimes it gets covered with the dust of daily life and challenges and our lack of education. But it's there within us already. We just got to blow off the dust a little bit. And this is our message. God is within us. God is rooting for us. God is giving us the power and the strength. Just dust off a little bit of what's filled that hole. But come back to who you really are and celebrate your Jewish life, your Judaism, your closeness to God, and the great abilities of what you can achieve. I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Love you all. Candlelighting in Montreal is 8:04 p.m.